Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Amber Unfiltered. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about motherhood, but before I do that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you want to cash at me at Amber Unfiltered Show, that'd be greatly appreciated. So, what kind of sparked this video was I saw a quick snippet of a video slash song that Victoria Monet wrote for her daughter Hazel. For those of you that don't know, Victoria Monet is an entertainer. She sings, she dances, she songwrites, she does it all. She started out in the industry writing songs for other people, notably Ariana Grande. I'm trying to think who else. I want to say Fifth Harmony, a whole bunch of other people, but I'm drawing such a hard blank right now, but probably some of your favorite entertainers she's worked with. So, I think the song is called Nothing Feels Better, and it kind of talks about her motherhood journey, and the video kind of shows different scenes of her pregnancy and then even after she gives birth, and it just really touched my heart. For some reason, it just made me cry, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just getting more and more excited and looking forward to becoming a mom. That's something I've always wanted to be, but I also don't want to rush it just because I know, I guess from my own experience and like my own childhood, I don't want to rush something and then end up traumatizing a child, and then they have to like do all this healing work and then struggle just throughout life, like in terms of relationships, finances, their self-esteem and things like that. I'm just not interested in repeating that cycle, so I deliberately took my time and decided to wait. My parents had us at 19 and 20. I feel like at 20 years old, you don't know shit. At 30 years old, you're just now learning shit. So you're like really figuring life out and you're really getting settled and thinking more long term. I kind of always knew that I was going to wait until my 30s to have a kid, and I deliberately made that choice. Another reason why I decided to wait too is because I want to enjoy my marriage more. We've only been married a couple of years. And also we want to get our schooling out the way because both of us are trying to get our bachelor's. My other goal is to try to see if I can obtain my master's, and then after that I want to lock in and start a family. A lot of people always ask us, when are you having kids? When are you and Nick having kids? And it's like, we're not going to force ourselves, and we've communicated to those closest to us like, hey, we're interested in waiting. We want to check off some more things before we, start that, because we know once you start a family, like there's no going back. That baby comes first. And I don't want to be like a half-ass parent. Not that there's anything wrong for people who feel like that's what they can do. But me, I want to be all in. I want to be like the mom that I didn't have growing up. And I mean this in terms of my biological mom. But that video it tugged on my heartstrings. And I feel like also the universe has been giving me these interesting like one-off experiences with babies. Like I remember over the summer, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law had another baby. They already had one. And they did a baby sprinkle. So it's basically like you don't have like the full effect of a baby shower. Like there's no games. It's more laid back. You kind of just come mix and mingle, eat, say hello, take pics and all that cute stuff. And I remember we were there and it was at a brewery. So me and Nick were outside. We were just like swaying to some music. It was a gorgeous day outside. And this couple saw us. They had 3 kids. They had just had a newborn. And the wife saw me and Nick dancing. Like I'm like swaying with like my eyes closed, just leaning back on Nick. And she's like, you guys are so beautiful together. She was like, girl, you know when you have kids, like that goes out the window. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then we just got to talking, and then her baby was just so fucking cute. I was like, oh my God. And I think she could sense that like I really wanted to be a mom, but like I wasn't quite there yet. And she was like, do you want to hold my baby? And I thought it was like the sweetest gesture that a stranger could ever give me. Like the lady was just so genuine. Forgive me, I don't know if I got her name. She probably told me and I forgot, but her baby was freaking gorgeous. She had like the Michelin Man, like wrinkles and rolls. And I live for those. Like it just makes me want to eat the baby's thighs. Like I know you can't eat a baby, but obviously it just is so cute and they're so chunky. I just love rolls on dogs, on babies, on anything. Rolls as in bread. But so she let me hold her, and she was such a precious baby, so just like in tune. She's like staring at me like we're connecting. She had these beautiful like forest green eyes, like dark hair, chunky little rolls. Like she was just the sweetest thing. And her mom was telling me a little bit about her conception to having her, and she was like, she wasn't planned, but she's really welcome, basically. And a lot of people are very honest about babies that weren't planned, and I'm like, they're still loved nonetheless. But she was the little girl's name was Holland, which meant wooded land in Dutch. And it was interesting because I think the lady said that their house was surrounded by woods. Her daughter was also born on the day that the woman's grandmother actually passed away. So that was kind of spiritual and divine, I felt like. And I think there was some other thing that was interesting as well about the baby. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And it was hilarious because my sister-in-law's mom was like, see, like, because she's been wanting us to have a baby for so long. And I'm like, girl, we're not there yet. People are like, oh, well, you can go to school and still have a baby. And I'm like, but school is so stressful. I don't want to carry that and feed that into my womb and bring my baby in this world stressed out. Like, plenty of people have done it. I even have an aunt that's done it, but I'm like, I'm just not interested in doing that. I have specific things in mind that I want to check off and accomplish, and I don't want to rush myself or force myself to do something that I'm not ready to do. And I think more people should take time to have kids and really think about who they're having kids with. That was like another fear of mine, is like having kids with the wrong person. And luckily I have a really great husband. I'm so privileged to call him my husband because he really is a great guy. Like, I really lucked out and hit the lotto, and I feel like my kids will want for nothing. He's very playful. He's a big kid himself. He's very loving. He's very patient. So I know that my kids will be set. And even in terms of like grandparents, like his parents are already talking about all the stuff they want to do for our kids and like how excited they are for us. And I'm just like, I love that. And even my family as well. Even my mom has been dropping little hints. And I'm like, is you ready to be a grandma or not? But I just wanted to talk about that because it's something that I get asked a lot, but also that video kind of sparked it. Even when we went on vacation to the Outer Banks back in September, it was like towards the end of September, we have a tradition, well, we have certain traditions that we do when we go down there, because there's stuff that we did when we first started going down there to vacation. And one of them is going to the aquarium. I think it's not in Roanoke, but I forget what city. It's like somewhere near Roanoke in North Carolina. And we were walking outside on the pier and we were just looking at the sound, just looking at the water, looking at how peaceful it was. But they also had like these little placards that told you like information about like the fish and the people that lived here and like just historical context. And it was really cool. So we're just walking around and we see this family. It's like a family of 4, I think. And then I think they were either with the wife's parents or the husband's parents. I'm not sure, but you could tell they were like grandparents or in-laws. So we're walking around, right? This little girl comes up to me. She was so cute. She had like this really cute little like dressed up, like she had like a really cute dress on, like more formal wear, like something you would see around Christmas or something, with like the tulle and like the lace and all that stuff. And then she had on these cute little like sparkly or like shiny like Chuck Taylors, like bedazzled in fucking glitter. And she runs up to me and she gives me a hug. And I'm telling you, I was just waving to her, like that's all I was doing. So then she runs away and then comes back and gives Nick a hug. And it just touched my heart because he's like this giant, like behemoth of a man. And just like this little baby, like I feel like babies and like dogs can definitely sense out energy, or even other animals, but babies, they can sense out like purity, I feel like. So I was like, the fact that she kind of singled us out, I was like, that made me feel good. Like we're going to be good parents. And like, maybe she was sensing like our, you know, good energy, for lack of a better word. So then she runs away and comes back a third time and she goes, and she wanted me to pick her up. And it was so sweet. So of course I picked her up because I'm like, what baby says, baby gets. So I'm like holding her and she's just so cute. And again, she's got like the little chunky thighs. She's got like a little chicken nugget in her mouth. She's chewing. She's like, thank you. And her name was Charlotte and she was so cute. I hope wherever that family is, that they're having a good week, that they're blessed, that they're surrounded by love and just good things happen to them. Because that was so nice of them to let me hold their baby. Because I literally could have kidnapped her, but I was like, I have no desire to kidnap anybody's baby. But just them trusting me, because that is a huge thing, to just like trust your baby with a stranger. But even like when I've gone out to eat, like I think recently me and Nick went to a local Spanish restaurant and we were sitting in the booth and the booth had like a wheel shape in it. And the little baby, I was like waving to her and like talking to her and stuff. And she just was like looking at me and making faces and stuff like that. And I was just like, the universe really knows I want to be a mom, but I think they're just honoring like my decision to wait. But another huge reason why I'm waiting is because I feel like I still haven't worked out all my childhood issues and just like trauma and like my mental health. And I was like, I have no desire to like spew that or pass that on to my unborn child. Like that's something I'm being very mindful of. I just like really don't want to repeat the cycle, and I don't want what happened to me to happen to my kids, because it's a lot and I'm still working through it. Like I told you in another video, like I'm only 30, but I've been exposed to probably like almost 20 years of just straight trauma, like back to back to back. And it's going to take me a long time to sort out. Yes, I do recognize that I will not be fully healed from everything when I have my child, but if I can do the work and really get in there and dig deep and start reprogramming and start, you know, having a better sense of self and having a better image, you know, or self-worth of myself, that would be greatly like, that would be the best thing I can do for my child, is give them a healed parent or a parent that's in progress towards healing and doing that work. Unfortunately, I really didn't see anybody do this in my family, so it's kind of like I'm like the black sheep trying to figure this out. But I just knew I didn't want to do the same things that were done in previous generations, and I really want to break certain cycles, like especially with abuse and just like neglectful parents. And I think my parents did the best with what they had, but unfortunately, like it didn't really serve me that great. I had some good memories and some good times in my childhood, but a lot of it was foreshadowed or overshadowed by the abuse and the trauma and just like the neglect and all the painful things that I went through. And I just feel like kids don't ask to be here. They're so pure, they're so innocent, and it's like we have to treat them better. We have to do better. We have to be more mindful. Parents don't realize like the damage that they cause their kids and what that leaves them with. There's times where I'm like, I doubt myself. I think the worst of myself. I think I'm not worthy of like love or good things. And it's like, I have to keep telling myself I am worthy. But it's like all these things and experiences and events and people made me feel like I wasn't. And I just do not want to give that, pass that on to my child, as I said before. It is so hard working through it. And then you grow up into an adult that thinks you're worthless, that thinks you're nothing. And it is so hard wanting to wake up and wanting to do, but also just like, I know what it feels like to be alone, and I know what it feels like to have nobody. Like I've pretty much raised myself, and I just, again, I'm not interested in having that, passing on that experience to my kids. Like I'm being very mindful and I'm trying to do the work. I feel like right now with therapy, even though it's on hold, I plan to resume in January when my husband's insurance kicks in. I feel like I'm like a pumpkin or like a melon, scooping out all the gunk, scooping out all the flesh and just like the seeds and the messy shit. That's what I'm basically trying to do in my healing journey so that I can be a better parent, but also a better person. And we're not really looking to have kids right now. We said maybe in a couple of years. We don't have an exact timeline, but we also were like, we want to take our time. And we know that kids are a commitment, and we're kind of like selfish right now. Like we can wake up and do whatever we want. When you have kids, you can't do that. You have to put them first. Kids are up early. They about that life. Like they have so much energy and love and just hyperness and all the things. And I don't want to just be like a mom that just, is half-assed, because I think my child deserves everything. They deserve 100%. Even though they're not here yet, I really want to give them a good quality of life. I want them to have a childhood similar to my husband's. His parents are still married. They loved on them. They supported them. They showed up to every single event as much as they could. They had home cooked meals. They were united. My family wasn't really like that. It was for a little bit. And then once my parents got divorced, it was like a shit show. But even before that, they just were having so much issues within their marriage, but they couldn't keep it separate from the parenting relationship. And that's where I'm like, I do not want that. I told Nick, I was like, look, if you ever have beef with me when we have kids, take it out on me. Do not take it out on the kids, because again, kids don't deserve that. So that's kind of where I was going with that. But that video just made me be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to have a mini me. I can't wait to do all the things for my daughter that I wish I had gotten to do, but also healing that family tree, like the dynamic of mother-daughter relationships with my family tree, because unfortunately I'm not the only estranged mother-daughter duo in my family tree, and I'm like, I really don't want that. I want to heal it. By healing that, I feel like I'll heal future generations, and I'll also heal my inner child, and I just can't fucking wait. So anyway, that was my long ass TED talk. I love you guys and I appreciate you for watching. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hoping you're having a great day. Bye-bye.